Sorry about that. But when you look at those big three, it's just such a difficult task to have to guard those guys because Steve Nash is playing those three guys 40 plus minutes a night. So that means you're gonna get a majority of the game with those guys in the game. They're starting to start to understand each other and how each other likes the ball, how they like to play. I mean, Durant he's just unstoppable. 32 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Kyrie, you know what he does with the dribble. 26, 7 and 4. And then Harden is just magnificent in the way that he facilitates the ball and can score. 31, 15 assists, 8 rebounds, 2 steals. I mean, that's just nonsense. They got 60, 80. They got pretty much 90 points between those three, and that can happen on any given night. When 3 guys can put up 90 points, I mean, it's just hard. Last night, Joe Harris was 0 for 3 from three-pointer, and he's a three-point shooter, so he's in a little funk right now. If he makes, he puts up 3, 4, 5, and he makes 2 or 3 of those, that's another guy that you got to worry about getting 10 to 12 points. They're just so much firepower. Last night they shoot well from the free throw line, 85%. From the field they were over 50%. And then it's just so hard to just defend them. And at any time, whoever's having the hottest night can just take over when it needs to be takeover time. And last night it was KD, and he just took the game over and finished it off. It was just, it's just must-see TV right now. I just love watching them play. And it's not like the other team. We have 20 points, 28 from the 3 starters on Hawks, and they had 24 from Reddish off the bench. Gallinari had 11. I mean, they had guys that were scoring as well. But just those 3 guys themselves can put, the points up that 4 or 5 people from the other team have to put up combined. It was just amazing to see this group. I'm really excited just watching them the rest of the season because they're just so dynamic. It's really insane that these 3 players are on the same team, and I just don't see me taking that name up there off. I just can't imagine it. Let's move to the next game. Nuggets 109 to 82 for the Heat. The Heat just need to get healthy. They just need to get healthy. Again, no Dragic, no Hero, no Harkless, no Haslam, no Jimmy. They're just playing with pretty much their, one or 2 starters and then their second unit. And against the team like the Nuggets that have been playing well, I think they're on a roll. I think they're on a game-winning streak, maybe 2 or 3 games. I mean, the Nuggets are just playing well, especially when you don't have a big on the Heat besides Bam. It's hard because playing Bam in the second string, most of the offense, most of the defense is going to be ran through him, and when your task on the defensive side is Jokic, arguably the first or second best center in the league, it's not an easy task. Then you have to worry about Millsap as well, and then JaMychal Green when he comes in off the bench. So it was just too much for the Heat. They need to get healthy. They're fighters. Their guys still play. They give their all, but the second teams are just not gonna beat these top teams that are playing right now. It's just not gonna happen. Next big game of the night, we got Lakers 76ers. If we started the playoffs right now, we ran a simulation. These two might make it to the finals, and they're the 2 best teams from each conference. And it was a battle last night. The 76ers came out hot, and they couldn't be stopped in the first quarter. The Lakers scoring a little bit, but the 76ers were just shooting well. They ended up with both teams really didn't focus too much on the 3-point line. 8 threes for the Lakers, 9 for the 76ers. I do think that when the Lakers start to commit to the 3-point, yeah, it's a hit or miss because their guys are missing. It's going to turn awful. Teams are going to run away with it, but I think that when they play their best basketball, they start aggressive and then they continue to look for the outside shot, and then they have guys on the team that can hit shots. Braun can get heated. KCP can hit shots. Kuzma can hit shots. Caruso can hit shots, and Morris can hit shots. So they have guys that can hit shots on their team. But last night they didn't focus too much on the 3-point line. They were trying to be aggressive. Both these teams really looked well matched. They looked like pretty much the same team. I mean, you have two big power guys, AD, Braun, and then you have Joel and Ben Simmons. And this game really came down to those two guys, or those four guys isolated. 28 for Joel, 28, 6 and 4. Ben Simmons 17, 11 and 10. And then LBJ 34, 6 and 6, and AD 23, 8 and 2. So those four guys were going at it, but this was really a game of the help. I say the help as in everybody that's not those four. Tayshaun Prince was big last night. I mean, not Prince. I'm sorry. Tobias Harris was big last night. 24, 7 and 3. And then the Lakers' third guy would be Schroeder. On any given night, it could be Schroeder, Caldwell, Kuzma, sometimes Caruso. But last night it was Schroeder, but he only gave you 16, 4 and 3. So just your third guy alone got outplayed by their third guy because these teams are really well matched up. So it comes down to stuff like that. The 76ers are moving the ball a little bit better, more assists on the night. They were more aggressive on defense. Got the Lakers to turn the ball over. They ended up with the same ratio, but they were the steals that the Lakers or the 76ers were getting were off of lazy passes and bad decisions from the Lakers at the right times. They both shot awful from the free throw line, and they're both not really that good of free throw shooting teams. Outside of Joel and maybe Harris, I think the 76ers can be better. The Lakers don't really shoot well from the free throw line. But this game was really a nip and tuck game. They were well balanced. They played pretty much the same styles of basketball, and it was a great game. If I saw this in the finals, I wouldn't be disappointed at all. But the Lakers just couldn't get a last minute stop from the 76ers, and they ended up taking the loss. So maybe they decide to commit a little more to the 3-point shot. They were shooting hot. But this was, like I said, it's the game of the help, and the 76ers help just won it last night, 107-106. Let's go Bucks Raptors. 115-108. The Bucks took that game. This is what I'm talking about with the Raptors. You go up against a team like the Bucks, who are a top team in the East, and maybe it's that the Raptors get up for the challenge. I'm starting to see that a little bit. They get up for the challenge when it's teams of high caliber. But they can defend well. They have the guys that can defend, and they can score in spurts. But last night they just couldn't get it done against the Bucks. 24, 18, and 9 for Giannis. He was everywhere. He was everywhere for the Bucks last night. They turned the ball over a little too much, but the Nets or the Raptors weren't able to really capitalize on that. The Bucks controlled the boards last night, which was a big part of the game. They were able to stop the second chance shots for the Raptors, and then control the tempo of the game. You notice that they like to rebound and push the ball up. That's the type of the team that the Bucks are, and they do play fast, and they can play well when they're playing fast. But the Raptors just didn't have enough last night. They shot well from the 3-point line, 22 threes in the game, but they just for some reason they couldn't get enough stops, and they couldn't grab enough rebounds for second chance opportunities that eventually let them short against the Bucks. So 118, 115 to 108. Giannis had 24, 18, and 9. Good game for Giannis. Then we go Celtics Spurs. This is why I think the Spurs will be in the playoffs, is because of games like this against a very good Celtics team. They have most of their guys. Tatum is back. He had 25. I mean, Tatum didn't miss a step, but for whatever reason,